For Retro Sunday, we are taking a look at my banged up vintage figures from the Masters of the Universe line way back in the 80s. We've got Skeletor and Panthor with He-Man and Battle Cat. They're pretty much useless nowadays, but part of my childhood that I could just not bear to throw away or sell. For size comparison, here is a Voyager class Transformers figure, Optimus Prime from the Earthrise line. So you can see how pretty hefty these figures were back in the day. Give a look at that 5-inch He-Man figure. So they were pretty beefy and kind of had some heft in them back in the day. Now, before I even collected G.I. Joes or Ghostbusters or even Transformers, the Masters of the Universe line was the very first toy line right after Lego. Everybody had Legos back in the day, but it wasn't really something you collected. But the figures that I actually collected with my brother way back when was the very first line we collected was the Masters of the Universe line, and these were pretty dope back in the day. Now, Skeletor, yeah, he's he's seen better days, I know. Just, you know, direct sunlight changed the colors of the plastic on him. He's broken legs because the rubbers, they were the first that would snap out if you've had these figures. I lost his sword, which was a mirror reflection of the He-Man sword. All I have is his staff of power. Man, I love these toys. You royal boob. Anyway, and Panthor, this was a saddle, and this was the flocked version of the Battle Cat mold. This is exactly the same as the Battle Cat mold. We would rip these toys apart, and this one in particular was flocked. It still has a little bit of that flock left in him, despite, you know, 30 years or so just being in a bin and being displayed on shelves. So that's pretty cool. On to He-Man. This was not the original He-Man figure. The original He-Man figure had something of like a different, it had like a different type of armor. It was more like straps and then a cross. This is the battle armored He-Man version. We never had battle armored Skeletor, but the battle armored He-Man, it had a gimmick on the chest that if you had slashed it, it would rotate. But my brother broke that joint right there, so it's so hard to just rotate these things. But it was a pretty cool gimmick. It was just like on a hair trigger. The original part was that, and then if you poked it, it would rotate into battle slash and then rotate again to double slash. So that was pretty cool. It doesn't want to rotate anymore. It's busted. These weapons actually did not belong to him. He had a different shield. This shield and this sword was actually part of the original He-Man. He had an axe and a shield, different kind of shield, I believe. And yeah, and each one of these figures, this one had no power punch action, while the Skeletor and the original figures had that twisting, spring-loaded power punch action. Okay, now quick look at Battle Cat. He's missing his mask, obviously. Straps to his saddle, and see the paint on this one is actually still pretty good despite all these years. So yeah, not bad. I mean, these were so much fun to play with. So there you go, folks. That is a quick look at some of my vintage Masters of the Universe figures. Pretty banged up, but I wouldn't sell them for anything right now. Just really a lot of childhood memories on these figures. Let me know what you think. Did you have these figures growing up? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time on this channel, please subscribe. This has been a quick look at my vintage Masters of the Universe figures, Skeletor and Panthor, He-Man and Battle Cat. By the power of Grayskull, He-Man, I have the power!